Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is April 29th, 2020. 137 days until we get to see Tom Brady throw 405,000 touchdowns to Rob Gronkowski. That's the first game.
Getting us to the Super Bowl. First game, they just say, okay, Bucs, you're going to the Super Bowl. Done. Season over.
That's the first game?
Yeah.
They
should just give it to us now.
Just give it to us. We shouldn't have to go through all this trouble of playing it.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it, though.
I know. Even if they did just automatically give us the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, I'd still watch every game.
Yeah, me too.
If you have noticed a different sound with our podcast, it's because we're trying a new configuration out here.
We got our mics in. Woohoo!
The NFL draft was done. We had originally done a podcast, what was it, Sunday night? I can't remember. And we had it uploaded and everything, but after re-listening to it, I just did not like the tone of the cut of my jib.
Oh,
I was very negative.
What does that mean?
Well, I was tired.
And brain was not working.
My brain was not working. And I was just really down on a lot of stuff. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to put that negativity out there.
Yeah, we try to avoid that.
Yeah. The NFL draft was done. We'll discuss that later in a bit. Are we going to discuss that after we go over some news? Or
yeah, let's go over all the news, get that out of the way, and then we can talk about what our team is shaping up to look like.
All right. No fact checks or follow-ups. We were absolutely perfect last time, which you know what that means. It means we just did not do any fact checks or follow-ups, which we got to get back on that, man. I'll tell you, it's sad. The NFL looked into Brady trying to go to Leftwich's house. If you're not familiar, he ended up going to Leftwich's neighbor's house, just walking in, setting his duffel bags down, and the neighbor was like, excuse me? Brady had the wrong house. Well, the NFL looked into it, like, why is Brady going to Leftwich's house? There's supposed to be no contact between players and coaches.
Let's call this what it is. This is what it feels like to be a Patriots fan or a member of the Patriots organization.
That's right.
People were crying because they said, oh, it's a violation. You need to investigate this. Like the man has not been investigated enough. I know.
He's already had the cops called on him or kicked him out of a park.
Right.
He's good.
Like, leave the man alone. But it's, constant.
Well, once a cheater, always a cheater.
I guess so. I think that's the prevailing
Don't you talk that way
theory.
About my quarterback. It was okay when he was a quarterback of the Patriots. He ain't a cheater now. Never was.
The whole investigation was stupid.
I'm rewriting history.
About
the Deflategate?
No, I don't want to get into that. The investigating him going to Byron Leftwich's house.
Well,
you know that he is not the only one in the league to do that. You know they're doing it.
Well, they're not getting caught. He got caught by walking into the wrong house like a big dummy. The league looked into it, did an investigation, and said that there was no violation going on. He was just there to pick up a playbook. Doesn't explain the duffel bags or why the playbook couldn't have been sent to him on his iPad or any of that. But, you know what?
Some people just like a hard copy.
And apparently, I don't even know if Byron Leftwich was there. The story was that Byron Leftwich wasn't even home, and he was just go in my house and pick it up off the counter.
Oh.
And that's why Brady walked into this guy's house.
Right. And then I saw an article on Joe Bucks Fan where there was an interview with Gronkowski, and Gronk said that he had the Bucks playbook for like a month.
Yes, I saw that too. That's going to be looked at as well, because that would be considered tampering.
Yeah, they didn't have legal or permission from the Patriots to talk to him, I guess.
Right. Well, I think it's just Gronkowski running his mouth.
Yeah.
That was Saturday on the Bud Light Seltzer draft party. He said, I was in a Tampa Bay Buccaneers playbook 4 weeks ago, and I wasn't even on the team. So, I don't know if these guys don't realize they shouldn't be saying this stuff, or if they're just talking out the side of their neck, or what's going on.
I think it happened before, but nobody listens to Buck players, so.
Yeah, right.
They didn't care then.
Sean Payton's probably having a
Oh,
hissy fit.
that one. No, he now feels like he's got the upper hand.
How so?
Because he got Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. Jameis Winston is signed with the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
He is now an enemy.
I wanted him to sign somewhere. I really did.
We were rooting for him. Were.
Yeah, not in the division.
No,
I mean,
that's the wrong thing to do, man.
to be clear, he is free to sign wherever he wants to go.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'd have been like the same thing with Gerald McCoy. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm going to go and become your enemy.
But it's clear. I don't know if it was petty revenge. I don't know. He's taking peanuts to be there.
He's got a $1.1 million 1-year contract. I mean, that is, out of all the quarterbacks in the league, he's getting paid. He's the 52nd highest paid quarterback. Here's backups, quarterbacks that are getting paid more than him. C.J. Beathard.
Who?
Right. Deshaun Kaiser. Chad Henne. Jeff Driscoll. Ryan Griffin. Our own very polished Ryan Griffin. Chase Daniel, Nate Sudfeld, Matt Barkley, Nathan Peterman is getting paid more than him.
Hey, that guy is reinventing the position.
Cooper Rush, I don't even know who he is. Colt McCoy, Matt Schaub, RG3. RG3 is getting paid more than Jameis Winston, who was the passing leader and touchdown leader last year.
Here is a breakdown of...
Marcus Mariota is getting more than he is.
Wow. Here's a breakdown of his contract. He got a $148,000 signing bonus, a base salary of $952,000, but he does get $3.4 million in incentives. Is available.
What are the incentives?
I don't know.
They don't know.
Not released. It's interesting, and there was a quote today. It's just amazing. Where he said, quote, "Being a quarterback, you have to be a student of the game. So now I actually get a chance to dive into that more. I actually have a Hall of Fame quarterback that I'm learning from, opposed to trying to learn it myself or use Google." Now, I take issue with pretty much this whole thing. First of all we ever heard was what a student Jameis Winston was. He was first in the facility,
Football
first
smart.
out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knew how to study. So if he was really a student of the game at the Bucs, why does he feel like at the Saints it's going to be such a better environment for him? 1. 2, he says, as opposed to learning it by myself or use Google. I guess he couldn't have approached Tom Moore or Clyde Christensen or Bruce Arians or Byron Leftwich. I mean, these are all people that were surrounding him that were supposed to help him succeed, but he didn't think to use them.
Yeah, he had the best stable of coaches around him as far as quarterback.
I mean, that is the whole point of a
Byron
coach.
Leftwich used to play quarterback in this league, on this team. And, maybe he's not a Hall of Famer by any means, but there was plenty of stuff there to ask. That he was getting all kinds of... I don't know. It's just Jameis kind of took a little dump on the Buccaneers there. Well, he kind of took a dump on us by signing with the Saints. So, you're dead to me, Jameis. I was rooting for you, but you're dead to me.
We hope you feel.
As long as he's with the Saints, yeah.
I do think a large part of the signing was an intel.
Yeah,
it was more about
probably.
intel.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis spent a year in the system, so he'll know how BA operates. Whereas it didn't make any sense for the Saints to sign, for instance, Cam Newton, because the system Carolina was running while he was there is no longer there. So it wouldn't have made sense for them to.
Yeah, you're not going to get any intel from Cam Newton, except on maybe some advice on how to dress.
Fashion,
badly.
yeah.
Bad fashion
He's
advice.
gotcha.
Yeah, Jameis Winston, that $1.1 million is worth it, just the little bit of information he can give, which he could probably give quite a bit of information.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, little stinker.
Yeah, and, we'll see how it's only a 1-year contract.
Just long enough to get some intel out of him.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to cut him before the trade deadline or something.
But,
it's not clear where he's going to be on the depth chart because they did extend Taysom Hill. It was a 2-year, $21 million contract, and all we've heard is how Taysom Hill is the quarterback of the future there. So I'm not really sure what capacity Jameis is going to be in. He may come in when they want to take a shot down the field. Drew Brees comes off, Jameis comes on, lobs it.
Yeah, Drew Brees and Jameis Winston couldn't be much more different quarterbacks.
No.
You know, Jameis Winston had the most pass attempts of 15-plus yards last year. Drew Brees had I think it was the least most. It was like 22 compared to Jameis Winston's 152. Of course, Drew Brees was hurt, didn't play a full season, but still, he's just not a big throw-it-down-the-field type guy.
I think Jameis can learn a lot from Drew as far as pocket presence and making good decisions.
Except buying jewelry.
Yeah.
That's not good decisions.
I said, I meant on the field, not off the field. You got any further thoughts on Jameis?
Yeah, it's just, that's a very strange thing. Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, it was like neither one of them were getting any interest. There was originally, when Jameis Winston came out and said he was going to sign with New Orleans, his agent or somebody said that he denied a lucrative offer from the Pittsburgh Steelers to be able to go and play behind Drew Brees. Well,
Ben Roethlisberger. I follow you. I follow you now. Never mind.
Well, the Steelers media and reporters, they came out and said, yeah, that's not true. We didn't offer him crap.
Yeah, the GM went on one of the radio shows up there and said it was not true.
Yeah, you can't ever trust anything these agents and media people say. You just never know. It's a business to them. They're trying to manipulate stuff. But Cam Newton, man, what's up with him? This is crazy. I mean, here it is. He's a 2015 MVP.
A first overall pick.
First overall pick. Can't even get a backup job anywhere. But I think it's like what you said. They can't physically evaluate him. And he's banged up. But James is banged up too. That's why I think it's more of a intel thing than it is. They see him as a starting caliber quarterback that they're going to groom behind Drew Brees.
Well, I think Cam Newton's thing, it's more the caliber of his injury. It's that shoulder he's had operated on twice. Like, one shoulder surgery, okay, but a second one to kind of fix whatever went wrong, I think it has a large part to do with that.
I concur. It's just so crazy that here you got two number one quarterbacks, number one overall draft pick quarterbacks who started for their teams for years. Jameis Winston comes off having the record for passing yards and touchdowns and can't get a job but for $1.1 million as a backup.
I think that Cam Newton just needs to go to Atlanta at this point and sign as a backup.
They should do that.
Just to see,
I'd love to have Cam Newton back in the division.
Yeah, me too.
Having him in there.
I know. We could at least play him in preseason after our second stringers beat up on him.
All right. The Buccaneers picked up O.J. Howard's fifth-year option for the 2021 season worth around $6 million.
So that kind of quashes any trade talk, I think.
Not really. You
don't think so?
No. Well, we did the same thing with Vernon Hargreaves. We picked up his fifth-year option.
Okay, fair enough.
Boom, out the door.
Joe Bucs fan wrote an article. This was from the 23rd, so it's kind of an older one, saying that O.J. Howard is eager for a fresh start with a new NFL team, and it's not a post-Gronk trade development for the Bucs. So he learned that from a trusted source. According to Joe Bucs fan, he's not demanding a trade or like having a tantrum, but he's, quote, is over the Bucs at least as much as it appears they are over him.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I think we had talked about that. Don't know how much of it is true or not. There might be some business stuff involved with this. It might be making it easier for them to trade him if they pick up the fifth-year option. I don't know.
I just don't see how a trade is going to come through. When we tried to move him last year, didn't happen, and then... Supposedly, and then this off-season,
Yeah.
They supposedly try to move him again. It's so weird with him. I do not understand. I don't know if maybe, and I'm just spitballing here. I know nothing.
You know nothing.
Yeah, I know nothing. He might be unhappy with how they're using the tight ends, or him in particular, because his forte, he is a pass-catching tight end rather than a blocking one, and they have him blocking most of the time. Most of the tight ends, they do. It's just they don't really utilize the tight ends in the passing game that much compared to Dirk Hutter's system where, we used him a lot. So I don't know if there's kind of a...
Yeah, he probably doesn't like blocking. I get the impression watching him on film.
He obviously does not like blocking because he's horrible at it.
He doesn't give it his all, that's for sure.
Let him do that to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I think that'll end real quick.
Yeah.
But, if you have somebody on the team like that who's got a bad attitude, I mean, we kind of saw it with Vernon Hargreaves and special teams. Like, it was apparent he was not trying to be on special teams. And eventually he gave no effort and they just pulled him. So, just makes you wonder. And I don't think that you can really tolerate that kind of attitude.
No, at all. I mean, these guys should feel totally privileged that they get to play this game for millions of dollars. Don't go out there and act like a prima donna that you don't want to do certain things. Come on, man. I would do it for $10,000. I'd block somebody. The NFL is reportedly considering a mid-October season start if the league has to push back the start date due to the coronavirus mess. They're aiming for a mid-October start with no bye weeks, no Pro Bowl, and a February 28th Super Bowl, according to reports. I'm of the opinion everything's going to start on time. It looks like we're all gearing back to get back to work and get back out there. I'm dying for it.
I think so, too. I think the question is how much of an impact will it have on teams to not have an off season? I mean, right now we're kind of cutting into the voluntary mini camps. Mm-hmm. The rookie mini camp for the Bucs was scheduled to start on May 1. I doubt that's happening.
Yes.
Or they'll do it virtually, which how much can you do in that way?
This contingency plan was reported by sports business journalists John Urand and Ben Fisher. If the league can't get started on time, and like you said, if they can't get these young guys out there practicing and all that, they might just go ahead and decide to do this anyhow.
Yeah. Right, like, what's the line? Where's the line?
Right.
Like, is it if we get into training camp territory and they're not able to operate at full capacity, is that the point where you kind of delay everything?
Yeah.
That would be my thought.
That'd be a huge thing, though, to delay it that much. I mean, mid-October?
Yeah, that's like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then what do you do about the preseason? Is there no preseason? Or is that when the preseason starts? Because you can't take those, because preseason, you got to have a preseason because of roster cuts. Like, you got 90 guys on your roster. You got to cut it down to 53.
Yeah, you got to see who you want to keep.
Exactly. Evaluate all your talent. So it's really hard to do without a preseason. Maybe you don't need 4 games. But then preseason is also valuable for the players that are going to play during the season because you kind of get them a little warm up,
used to hitting
in football shape, exactly.
Yeah,
so
football shape.
Preseason is important. I don't know if you really need the 4 games, but
and then having no Pro Bowl, that's a big, huge thing. No bye weeks.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's huge.
Yeah, strategically and for guys to get kind of rested up.
Yeah. So I'm hoping they don't do that. I'm hoping we get all this mess started. I'm so ready for some football.
And they could just scrap all the mini camps and voluntary workouts and all that stuff because I don't know how valuable they are anyway. They might be extremely valuable, but...
That's because you know nothing, John.
I know nothing.
Tom Brady did his all-in challenge. Remember that? They were doing bids on it?
I do.
Yeah, the winning bid was $800,000. I said it was going to hit $1 million, but I was a little short.
I think the last time we talked about it was $750,000. It was in the 700s.
Really?
Yeah. But that's great, $800,000. And what's it going to?
I don't know, feeding kids. right?
He's already given a lot of money for that.
Yeah, him and the Glazers have dumped a boatload of money into it. It does include tickets to a game-worn jersey and cleats, and your option to have dinner with him, or what was the other one? Something else.
Or a workout.
A workout, yeah. Yes, that's right. Dinner or workout. I say it right here. And I'm of the opinion I would definitely want to have dinner with the guy. Although, he's got a weird diet, so that might be uncomfortable.
He's not going to make you eat it. I doubt he's cooking for you. It's probably a restaurant.
He's not going to make you do it, but he's going to make you feel guilty.
Okay. But, yeah, because you order a cheeseburger and fries, and he's got some, avocado toast.
It's avocado ice cream. Isn't that what it is? No, I'd get a drippy, oily, greasy hamburger served in a dirty ashtray, just to mess with him. Watch the disgust on his face. That's all I got for news.
Oh, I have more. The deadline to register for 2020 cheer auditions for the Buccaneers is this Friday, May 1st at 6 p.m.
How in the world did I not know this? How are you the one on top of that?
I know, Ralph. What are you doing, man? What are you going to do if they don't have the cheer auditions?
Cry.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to finally get the sound working on my computer.
So there is a link on the Bucs cheerleaders Twitter. It's at Bucs Cheer, all one word, to register. And that deadline's May 1, this Friday.
Hey, and if you're a guy and you can dance, you want to cheer, go do it.
They have the one guy on the cheer squad, and he's actually on the promotional material for the virtual auditions.
I saw him a couple times on the sidelines during the games. Man, he was out there just moving it.
He's getting it. He's enthusiastic. I can see why he made the squad.
Yeah. Remember we watched him last year.
He was fun.
His routine.
They were fun.
Yeah. It's about dang time us guys get some equality in the cheerleading.
Never took you for a feminist, Ralph.
That's not a feminist. That's a meninist.
Jason Light has said he hopes to reach a long-term agreement with Pro Bowl receiver Chris Godwin. So it looks like that's next up on they're kind of getting everything checked off. They got O.J. Howard done. Now it's on to Chris Godwin. Although we have no money, so not sure how that's going to go.
Pay the man.
Exactly. The Buccaneers are having a Meet the Rookies live stream. It is April 30th at 8 p.m.
That's tomorrow.
It is.
Or today.
It's on Buccaneers.com, the Buccaneers app, YouTube, and Facebook. I actually got a notification sent to my email where you could actually submit questions for the players. So.
Oh, man. What did we submit?
I haven't done one yet.
Come on.
I know.
Get on it.
We got to think of a thoughtful question so they'll actually read it.
Or a really, really dumb one so they'll read that one.
What's that one on Reddit? Would you rather have one horse-sized duck?
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck?
Or 1,000, is it 100? 100 duck-sized horses.
Although, who is scared of fighting a horse,
Those things trample you, and they spook real easily.
Yeah, that's it. They spook really easily.
Yeah.
So you just scare them away.
They're so big. I don't know.
I'd say
not a fan of the wildlife.
I'd rather replace it with a...
Or domestic.
Replace...
I don't like big things that...
Or just life in general.
Could eat me or kill me. I don't go to zoos, the aquarium, safaris.
She goes to the beach, but will only stand in ankle-deep water.
That's true, too.
When we go to the pool, she walks all the way around it.
No, come on. I don't go in a pool.
She hates birds.
I do hate birds. We've talked about that before. Ralph and I have always talked about getting some property with some land. And I've always heard that llamas are really good security because they run straight at people because they're curious and it's intimidating to have a big animal run at you like that. So they're phenomenal security. But then I thought about taking care of one on a daily basis and realized I don't really like animals that much to be able to do it. Like I like dogs and cats and maybe some small rodents. But other than that, they freak me out. Why are you looking at me like that?
First time hearing of this.
Come on, you knew.
I already bought some llamas for you. Or alpacas.
They're
I thought it was
coming tomorrow.
alpacas.
I don't know. I don't know the difference. That's also probably a reason I should not have wildlife.
Yes, that is a good
I mean, they're
reason.
not wildlife. They're See, I keep saying that. But like horses, I'm real wary of horses. Being around them. I've never had a good experience riding one.
Devin White would not like you.
Yeah, probably not.
Or Jack Cicci, isn't he? No, Kevin Minter.
Minter.
Yeah, Minter's a horse rider too.
Anyway, that's my tangent for the day. I don't even remember how we got on that. Ooh, this is not Buccaneers related, but it is draft related. Of course, the Green Bay Packers drafted a quarterback, Jordan Love. And we all know Aaron Rodgers has to be thrilled to death. And Brett Favre went on the Rich Eisen show and confirmed as much. Quote, "I'm not going to talk about all that we talked," Favre said.
He talked to
I don't
Aaron
know.
Rodgers? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay.
He was, let's just say, surprised they went in that direction. Quote, "He has every right to be disappointed if he is. At some point, it will rear its ugly head."
Oh my gosh, drama and Packers.
I know, because Aaron is already pissy about this.
Oh no, he is such a prima donna.
I can, you have to appreciate what he's done for the game, what he is to the game. He is a good quarterback, elite, Hall of Famer, but he is a pissy bitch.
Tell us how you really feel, Mom.
I cannot stand him. You know what it was when he came to the Bucs field and cried about how bad the field was because he turned his ankle? Like, how many times has he been injured in his career? Every season.
Yeah.
Every season. Is that all the Bucs' fault? I don't know.
Everybody's fault.
It's everyone's fault but Aaron Rodgers.
Man. Bet you'd love that. What was it, Sports Illustrated?
I did.
That article?
It confirmed everything I already knew.
Yeah, he came across as a really...
I just had this
really
bias and
bad
it just
person.
confirmed.
Spiteful, petty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more piece of news and then let's get to the draft. The NFL has implemented executive pay reductions, a limited furlough program, and Roger Goodell offered last month to reduce his salary to zero to help the NFL.
Does that mean...
And they accepted, yeah. They accepted.
Well, he gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. I mean, he's already made enough money to set him for life. Like, he does not need any more, which is probably why he's like, I don't know, just take these $15 million on me. Or, it's more than that. It's
it's like $30 million.
Yeah,
or something. It's crazy.
a year.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I don't think he needs it. And he just said, I'm not, I won't take a salary this year.
That's still cool of him, though.
Yeah, I think so, too. He deserves props for that.
Yeah.
And then the executive salaries, so this is how they're getting reductions in their base salary, and it's tiered. So 5% for up to the manager level, 7% for directors, 10% for vice presidents, 12% for senior vice presidents, and 15% for executive vice presidents. No employee earning a base salary of less than $100,000 will be subject to a reduction, and no employee's salary will be reduced to below $100,000. And they are furloughing employees, but while those employees will not get a paycheck, they still get health care, and they're still guaranteed a job when they come back. And they don't know how long the furloughs are going to be.
Why would the NFL need to be furloughing people? It's not like they...
Well, it's people who cannot do their job from home.
Don't know. It just seems like the NFL, one, has the money to just go ahead and pay the people.
Yeah, you would think so.
Two, I mean, what is it that the NFL is not able to do right now that they normally do? The off season?
Yeah.
I mean, the NFL. I'm not
well,
talking about
and this sounds like it is the executives or kind of the front office people, I guess, in each organization. Are they all paid by the NFL, not by the organization itself?
No, they're paid by the organization.
Right. So is this just the NFL admin people?
Right. So, I don't know. But, there's probably 50,000 people that work for the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
We were surprised when we found out how many people work in the front office at the Buccaneers. Well, I can't remember the number, but it was like, what? It was like 120 or something?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know if it was that much, but it was a surprisingly large amount of people. All right, well, before we get into the draft talk, let's get a bill or two paid.
We made the switch to Anchor.fm for our podcast hosting platform, and we could not be more thrilled. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let Ralph explain.
It's free.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor also distributes your podcast for you, so you don't have to worry about Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that. They automatically do it for you.
It's a huge help. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right, Molly, what you got for the draft? What happened? Can you give us a breakdown? Let us know what's going on, because I didn't pay any attention whatsoever. No, that's not true. We sat here and we watched the whole draft.
Yeah, but we just waited until the Bucs came up to pick. We didn't watch anybody else.
Well, before we get into your breakdown of the draft, let me get into my breakdown of the opinion of the draft parties. Now, Pewtercast had...
No, not Pewtercast. Well, one of the guys from Pewtercast was there, but it was... I think
it
was Loose Cannon. I think it was kind of a collaboration of several different podcasts.
Party online.
Yeah, live streamed on YouTube.
There was like 6 different podcasters and Buccaneers people on the video, and they did a great job. They were on there for the whole 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. Of course, a few of them got a little tipsy.
That's what we would have been doing.
Yeah, we were definitely a little tipsy. We were going to do it, but we decided...
Ralph had the good sense that it would be a lot, and I didn't realize until I actually watched the live stream how difficult that is to do.
Sit there and talk for 5 hours?
Yeah, just talk for 5 hours and be engaging. I mean, I would have been passed out by like 10 o'clock probably. So props to them. Yeah, props to them for being engaging and entertaining.
And we had the Buccaneers official draft party up as well. We watched it on YouTube or Facebook. Can't remember which one. I think we were on Facebook. And that was such a letdown. I mean, they billed it as, we're going to have ex-players and current players. We're going to do giveaways and all this. So, I'm thinking it's going to be, just 5 hours of basically them just hanging out and talking and goofing off and all this good stuff. No, it was... like 30 minutes before the draft, they had a few people come on. They had a statement by Tom Brady. There was a little clip of JPP. I think they had Chris Godwin on there. Casey Phillips was on there with Scott Smith.
And then they had some of the defensive backs, Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jamel Dean.
And then, like, before the draft, they... were just like peace out, and they put up a static image of like Buccaneers draft party, and that's the way it was for the rest of the night. They didn't do anything else. I don't even remember when it was our turn to draft if they had something then. Do you?
Nope.
Yeah, it was very much a letdown.
Yeah, it's not what it was billed as. I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely got the wrong impression from the advertisements that it was going to be a party. It was not my idea of a party. Maybe us and the Glazers have a different definition of party. So that's how our draft night went. We got pretty drunk. We sat here and watched Pewtercast and
Loose Cannons.
Whoever it was.
Bucking Idiots.
The Buccaneers draft party. And then we watched a static image.
And of course ESPN.
We had ESPN and NFL Network on, so we were getting all kinds of goodies from everywhere, except for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft party. Such a letdown. And what was up with this draft? It was the sappiest draft I've ever seen. And this is, we got to talking about this in the last podcast that we did that we decided not to put up because it was just too negative. This is one of the things I was just like, I don't know, but I just can't get over it. we were actually going to do a drinking game on this because every single profile they did of a player that was getting ready to be drafted or whatever, they had to bring up either that they had a dead relative, preferably a parent.
Or siblings.
Always
gold.
Or there was somebody close to them that was addicted to drugs. Or there was somebody close to them that was sick, preferably with like a polio or something.
Right.
Or the single mom. I mean, it was every single one of them. And it was, I don't know, man. It was just kind of weird to me. And we were so excited for this draft because it was finally, some football. We're sick and tired of hearing about this sickness. I want to hear some positivity. And, so we're all excited before the draft.
We need a good distraction.
Yeah, we need a good distraction. And I'll be darned if they didn't for 20 minutes before the first draft pick talk about the coronavirus. And then every commercial was the coronavirus. And then they were constantly corona. And I was just like, oh, this is not what I came here for. And did you notice some of they had the first round guys had to teleconference from home. Normally they're at the place where the draft is being held so they could go up on stage and all that good stuff. But they were at home now. Do you notice those houses? Some of those houses. Incredibly gorgeous. Like $2-3 million houses. I was like, man, it ain't like it used to be.
Right. It didn't. It seemed to me like everybody was middle class and above.
At least. Yeah. Yeah.
But definitely. I don't know. If you don't have a nice house, do you go to your friend with a nice house and say, let me use your house for the draft?
Most of these guys.
I might do that. I might want to do that if I were in that situation.
I'd find the nicest.
I need to rent a house down at the beach or something. Yeah. Or, I don't know, you could put up a green screen.
Maybe they were green
There's
screens.
always that.
I just found that very, very unusual. I mean, I kept every draft. I'd think, wow, they got a really nice house, man. But I think the NFL, it's a new world. These guys are not, the impoverished youth that are, clawing their way up to the economic ladder anymore. These guys are, like you said, middle class and above. A lot of them are above.
Well, to get to college.
Yeah.
That's not.
A lot of them. This is the
feat.
biggest draft of players' sons that I remember recalling.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of players' sons in there. As a matter of fact, there was one. Gosh, who was it? I was like, oh my God, he's got a son? I am so old.
Well, the safety that we drafted in the second round, his dad played for the Minnesota Vikings.
Our boy Pittman, our running back, his son was drafted.
Yeah, I think top 10, top 15.
That's crazy. He was just in the NFL 10 years ago, it seems like.
That's so crazy.
Nuts.
All right, you ready to get into it?
Yes.
Well, with our first round pick, we had the 14th overall pick. And right before we were set to pick, San Francisco was supposed. Yeah, San Francisco's pick at 13. They announced that the Buccaneers had traded up one spot, which is really weird. But
fourth round pick we gave up, right?
Yeah, we gave up a fourth round pick to move up
seventh?
To get our boy tackle Tristan Wirfs from Iowa.
Woohoo!
Now, it came out afterwards. I think Peter King was reporting that Jason Light had tried to trade up into the top 10 with like Oakland, the Jaguars, and he was ready to give up the house too. And those teams were not willing to trade. They had guys that they wanted. So Light reached out to the 49ers. He had heard that Joe Staley was going to retire. And in fact, he did shortly after the draft. Am I right?
Yes.
So he was concerned.
Jason Light with the inside information.
Yeah. So he was concerned that San Francisco would try to take their tackle. Mm-hmm. So that was why we moved up. It was a good move. It was a little confusing at the time. I was like, oh, why trade up just one spot? It just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I guess strategically it did. And there were things that we didn't know. So we watched, was it Real Bucs Talk did a video on YouTube breaking down Tristan?
Yes, very good.
So what did you get from that, and what do you think about it?
The guy's got some work. He's definitely not...
polished?
Yes, polished. I mean, he doesn't look like an elite professional right tackle. He's got some some flaws.
Well, that's what Joe Gilbert said in the offseason last year, is that you can't take a offensive lineman right out of college and expect them to be, I mean, they can be starters, but they do have to develop a lot, because in college they're not doing as complex of schemes as they do in the NFL.
The guy is big and strong, and he's athletic. I mean, he can get out there and run, do some good run blocking. He can do good screens. So we're going to have fun with that. We could never do screens to the right because DeMar Dotson was just not good in open field.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, he was a big guy. Which, I feel bad about DeMar Dotson. I mean, he's gone. He's off the team. He's the longest tenured Bucs player we had.
I know.
He was here, 13 years,
Yeah.
something like that. And, he's just gone. There's no fanfare or nothing.
I wish I wish that he would announce his retirement so that there could kind of be.
I guess he's retiring. I don't know. I haven't heard. But we did the same thing with Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson was, at that point, he was the best free agent signing we had ever gotten, I believe. And he played well for us for a very long time. And then we didn't re-sign him. And he just quietly retired. And, it was just so weird that the Buccaneer fan base just erased him from their memory. It's strange. I see the same thing happening with DeMar Dotson, which a lot of people probably want to erase him from their memory, but he was a good tackle.
He was decent. Serviceable.
Yeah, the Tristan Wirfs video by Real Bucs Talk, it was good. He did a really good job of breaking it down and showing stuff. I was expecting him to just show highlights, but I didn't realize until after we started watching it, I realized that it was done 2 months ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was going through it. But his conclusion was he didn't want the Buccaneers to draft him at 14.
Really?
Yeah, he said he's not good enough.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But, it was a good video because he broke down his weaknesses and strengths and all that good stuff. He had, different clips from different games, and it wasn't all highlights. It was, he broke down some of the bad stuff and showed bad plays too. So good on you, Real Bucs Talk. Good video. Go check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go search for it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Good information there.
Or
I did see on Tristan's highlights, they were showing draft night that he does like a good pancake.
He loves to pancake guys, and I love that for
Yeah.
an offensive lineman. That's like a offensive lineman's highlight play. When you can pancake a guy, that's like an interception by a cornerback or a touchdown.
He's a big dude too. I mean, I know that they all are, but
yeah.
he's a big guy.
He's not as big as DeMar Dotson was, right?
DeMar is
huge.
like 6'9" or something
Yeah, he was
ridiculous.
huge
He's gonna look like a little guy over there.
compared to DeMar Dotson.
Yeah, compared to DeMar.
But we needed that, so it's like in the Glazers took all the wishes of the fans, asked them, what do you want the Buccaneers? Do you want anything you want? You just put it out there. If you want us to get a private plane for the players, whatever. And it's like the Bucs fans, well, one, we want new uniforms. We want a throwback. We want it back to the Super Bowl era. We get rid of them stupid numbers. Two, let's make sure we get a tackle and some offensive linemen in the draft. Maybe running back or two would be nice. Some safety help. Three, you know what? We're just going to throw this out there. Let's get Tom Brady and Gronkowski. See if you can do that, Glazers and Jason Light. And sure enough, they've done it all.
I know.
This has been the best offseason in Buccaneers history.
Can I tell you, we live in Virginia,
Are
and
you telling me that? I know that.
not a lot of Bucs fans here. But I went out in my Bucs gear the other day to the grocery store, and I had 2 people comment on my gear. And of course, I didn't notice this till I put it on, but my hoodie that I wear all the time, it's the old logo with the comb over, the flag. I need to upgrade, get a new one. But I've never had that happen before, where people were acknowledging me as a Bucs fan.
We see other Bucs fans.
Yeah,
they'll
you
say
do the
something,
nod.
You do the nod,
know,
or go
what's up,
Bucs,
go
or
Bucs.
something.
Yeah.
Or just shout out Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you have people from other teams coming up and saying, "Hey, what do you think about Brady?
Yeah.
How do you like that Brady?"
the one guy said, "Are you happy about Brady?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah!" And he said, "Me too. I'm a Bills fan. I'm glad he's out of the division."
You know, all those fans are so ecstatic.
Yeah.
But come to find out, it's Belichick and not Brady, and he just beats them up for the next 20 years.
I know.
You know, with
I don't know. He might have his dog doing it.
That was so funny in the draft. You know, they showed the general manager and Belichick each in their home, which Belichick had a very modest home. It didn't look like a multi-million-dollar house, but Belichick wasn't there. It was his dog sitting in the chair in front of the computer. Like he was making the picks. It was so hilarious. I don't know if Belichick intentionally tries to be funny, but he's just hilarious.
He is funny. I know. His press conferences are gold.
They're awesome.
All right, let's get back to the Buccaneers. Quick aside. Someone should do like a voiceover of the dog in the chair, like picking the draft. That would be hilarious.
Put Belichick's voiceover in?
Something, yeah. Oh, that'd be funny. Just clips from over the years, just clips of Belichick talking.
Shaggy DA. That used to be a movie. I can't remember who it was. Oh my gosh, was it Chevy Chase? Where he turned into a dog. He was a lawyer that turned into a dog.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Kids movie.
Could be a football coach turns into a dog.
Right, Belichick as a dog.
He'd be like a bulldog, all grumpy looking all the time. Yeah. All right. For real, though, back to the Buccaneers. Round 2, we selected safety Antoine Winfield Jr. from Minnesota. So this is the one whose father played for the Vikings. I was surprised at this one, but it was needed. I didn't think we'd go safety that high.
I thought maybe we would go running back, but
yeah.
You can get good running backs deep in the draft. So.
Yeah, which we did.
Well, we hope we did.
We got running backs. Exactly. Yeah. So I guess we kind of needed some depth at safety. We've got all our depth guys who we signed last season. We signed them all to 1-year contracts, I think most of them. So some of them I think are on the outs. We've still got Justin Evans, who we have no idea what his status is.
Yeah, right. I know.
Surgery in the off season on that Achilles.
I don't think he's going to be playing.
I don't think so either.
Jason Light said something about
if by training camp.
If he sees the field at all this year, that'll be a bonus or something. I don't know where I saw that at. But we got Jordan Whitehead and Anton Winfield Jr. right now are pretty much the designated starters.
What about Mike Edwards?
He's considered a backup. So is Andrew Adams, Justin Evans, Dakota Dixon, DeAndre Hall, Javon Hagan. Those are all. But, I mean, this is preliminary.
Crap, yeah. BA was real high on Dakota Dixon, and of course he ended last season on IR. Or actually, I don't think he even made it to the season. But then we had Orion Stewart that we brought in.
Which he played pretty good.
He was okay. He was a good depth guy. I liked him. But that was one of those 1-year contracts. Well, Buchanan we got rid of in the middle of the year.
Of course, he wasn't really a safety.
No, that money backer.
So
I'm excited to see another young guy in the secondary. Who would think, as a football fan, you would ever say that? What we need is more young guys back there.
We really need to get a veteran back there, man.
I think so, too, but we have, no money left.
Yeah. It'll be somebody on the cheap.
Yeah. Or trade for somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In the 3rd round, we selected running back Keyshawn Vaughn from Vanderbilt.
Keyshawn.
We gave away our 4th round to San Francisco to move up that one spot. So
was it San Francisco we traded with?
It was.
Huh.
In the 5th round, we selected wide receiver Tyler Johnson from Minnesota. 6th round, defensive tackle Khalil Davis from Nebraska. And we had 2 7th rounders. At 241, we got linebacker Chappelle Russell. And at 245, we got running back Raymond Calais. Calais?
Yes. He pronounces his name different than Calais Campbell.
Okay, that's good to know. Calais.
Yeah, he is from Louisiana, so he uses the French, where they...
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
I know. Freaked me out.
Huh. And the college was Louisiana Lafayette. I probably butchered that. So We kind of went across the board. We got a little bit of everything. We got some offensive lines, some receiving core, some running back, defensive line, linebacker, and secondary. Kind of spread it around.
Yeah. Not like the Carolina Panthers, who drafted all defense.
Did they really?
Yep. Seven defensive players.
Well, they did jettison their whole defense, and then it's like you have more to rebuild there. At least on offense, they've got a
Christian
quarterback.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, they got their quarterback.
That's all. So we've got at running back, we've got Ronald Jones. Right now, he's the only designated starter. Keyshawn Bond, Dario Ogunbowale, Raymond Calais, T.J. Logan, and a Cedric Ware. So we've got a stable going. That'll get pared down. It'll be interesting to see if Dario makes the roster this year. I think
I liked him.
I did too.
Well, they had him as a special teams captain last year. That'd be a far way to fall.
Yeah. Yeah, he was our closer. I mean, we brought him in the fourth quarter, and he was our third down back too. A lot.
He was a good pass catcher too, I thought.
And then after the draft, we signed a bunch of people. What'd you say, 13 people? And we still have, I think, 6 roster spots open with like $3 million left. Do we have $3 million left?
I haven't looked today.
Well, who was the last person we signed?
Gronk. After Gronk, we have like $3.5 million.
We've got $4.36 million.
Okay.
We're actually the 5th worst in the league right now as far as that. Here's the least cap space post-draft is Rams with $419,000, Patriots with $1 million, Falcons with $2.2 million, the Saints with $3.85 million, Bucs with $4.36 million. The Panthers are number 10 at $7 million. So us NFC South guys, we like spending our money. We don't let that stuff sit around.
Yeah, why would you?
We ain't trying to collect interest. Now, as far as our draft is concerned, we did pretty good. The consensus around the league is that we did pretty good. As a matter of fact, theathletic.com has what's called the consensus big board draft rankings. They've been doing this for a few years. What they do is they take about 60 different ratings and combine them together to come up with the consensus draft board. And they're relatively good. They put out a little thing every year about who they hit on, who they were wrong about, blah, blah, blah. And they're generally pretty good. And they've given the 2020 Consensus Big Board Draft Rankings. Number 1 goes to the Arizona Cardinals. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are number 6.
Okay, top 10.
Pretty good. Yeah.
So we won free agency and we won the draft.
Oh my gosh, we have just killed this offseason. And
like I said, they just kind of give us a Super Bowl now and just.
And we got killer uniforms back.
I know, they're so cool.
Oh man, it's going to be so awesome to see them back out there in those uniforms. Let's see, the Carolina Panthers got 11th. How in the world could they get 11th by drafting all defensive players?
I guess it goes by need.
New Orleans was 18th. Ooh, Atlanta. Where you at, Atlanta? I'm scrolling. Oh, 30th.
Ooh.
Oof. We'll do a Know Your Enemy with the draft from our opponents coming up. Molly's going to look all into that. She's very excited about it.
Can't wait.
She just found out about it. Surprise!
I knew that. I knew it was coming. We signed some undrafted free agent rookies shortly after the draft. Actually, I think almost immediately. And this
I
is
think
who
you
we got.
texted me like immediately after the draft was over, and you were like, "We just signed 7 people."
Yeah, a bunch of people. So we got a quarterback, which BA came out and said the guys that they wanted in the draft were not available.
So we picked up
waited.
this slum, this schmuck.
Yeah, well, they obviously like him if they're bringing him in.
That's how it sounds like. That's how it feels. You know, that guy's got to be like, "Oh man, yeah, we couldn't get the guys we like, so we'll settle for
We'll
you."
settle. We are settling for Reed Sinnett from San Diego.
That's horrible.
We got offensive lineman John Molchin from Boise State. Wide receiver Josh Pearson from Jacksonville State. Offensive lineman Nick Everett from Rice. Safety Javon Hagan from Ohio. Wide receiver John Hurst from West Georgia. Outside linebacker Cam Gill from Wagner College. Linebacker Michael Divinity from LSU. Quarterback Parnell Motley from Oklahoma. Center Zach Shackelford from Texas. Defensive lineman Nasir Player from ETSU. Oh gosh, this guy's name. I'm going to butcher it and I apologize in advance. Defensive lineman Benning Patoa from Washington.
He's the one that played with Vita Vea, isn't he?
Oh, maybe, I don't know. It looks like he's got one of those names, like a Pacific Islander with the apostrophes and a lot of vowels. And lastly, wide receiver Travis Johnson from Montana State.
Yeah, Patoe played alongside Vea at Washington.
Okay. I wonder if he's got half as much.
No, me and you talked about him last year, about how if we were going to draft him this year. But Vea also had somebody last year on the team that played with him.
Yeah, it was somebody last year. I think that's who.
So, the chances of this guy making it. But then again, we need somebody to fill in for Bo Allen.
That's true.
Yeah. You got Jeremy Ledbetter, who I really liked the way he played. And Patrick
Didn't he
O'Connor.
get hurt?
I don't remember. We got Nacho. He's going to be in there in rotation. He's going to make the roster. Jeremy Ledbetter, he'll probably make it. Pat O'Connor, he'll probably make it. So, Benning Patoa probably won't make it. He's just really going to have to bust his butt to make the roster.
There's always the practice squad.
Always a practice squad. God, we've got like 13 wide receivers on the roster right now.
Do we?
Yes. We are stacking up bodies, man. We got, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin starters. Then we've got Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, Justin Watson, Josh Pearson, John Franklin, Cyril Grayson, Jaden Mickens, Bryant Mitchell, Spencer Schnell, Travis Johnson, John Hurst. I think the Buccaneers would be the worst team possible to go in as a wide receiver because, there's already 2 wide receivers that have already got starting jobs. That's just Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They ain't going nowhere. So you've got all these guys basically fighting for
3 spots, 4 spots maybe.
Yeah.
And, Scotty Miller.
He's got a foot in the door.
Yeah.
So does Justin Watson.
Right. I like Schnelly.
Rashard Perriman, we got rid of him. Probably a good thing because he just got arrested.
What?
Didn't you say he was arrested?
No.
Who?
Wrong one. Breland. Bashad
Breeland,
Breeland. Your boy. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff.
Sorry to hear that.
And he was already in trouble with the league for another substance abuse issue. Oh. So he was already facing a 4-game suspension.
I'm sitting here and you're talking about it, and the whole time I'm thinking Bashard Perriman. So I was like, glad we got rid of him now.
Nope. Different guy.
Different guy. So now we've got 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Tom Brady, I think he might make it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Blaine Gabbert, Ryan Griffin, and Reed Sinnett. Ryan Griffin apparently is never going to leave this team. I really want to see him get a shot. Maybe he will after Tom Brady. Tight ends, we got Rob Gronkowski, O.J. Howard, Cameron Braid, Anthony Auclair, Tanner Hudson, Jordan Leggett, and Cody McElroy.
We are stacked at tight end.
We really are. Offensive line is pretty much set starter-wise. We got Donovan Smith, Ali Marpet, Ryan Jensen, Alex Kappa, and then the new guy, Tristan Wirfs.
They got him starting?
Oh, they're going to have him starting.
Oof.
Yeah. I know. It's scary, isn't it? As far as backups go, we got Joe Haig, Zach Bailey, Brad Seaton, Anthony Fabiano, Aaron Stinney, Zach Shackelford, John Molchin, and Nick Leverett.
It's nice to not really be worried about the offensive line this year.
I wasn't worried about it last year.
No, but we have it pretty much set. We don't need...
We were a little shaky at guard last year.
Yeah. Well, in depth, too. We dealt with injuries.
Yes. Outside linebackers, Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul. I'm pretty sure they're both going to make the team. Anthony Nelson, Kazim Daniels, Quentin Bell, Michael Divinity. That's a cool name. And Cam Gill, Michael Divinity.
That's an LSU guy. Undrafted.
We've got a lot of LSU guys on our team.
I think the whole NFL does.
They're all...
Yeah.
Well, LSU, man, they kick out some good linebackers.
Yeah.
The Divinity guy, he was... missed 6 games last year due to suspension, reportedly for multiple positive drug tests.
Yeah. Him and Gronk all fit in well, huh?
He had 23 sacks in his last 2 seasons at Tiny Wagner College, though. He's 6'2", 232 pounds. Kind of small for an outside linebacker. Inside linebackers, we got Levante David and Devin White. Pretty sure they're going to make the team. Then we got Kevin Minter, Jack Sitchie, Noah Dawkins, and Chappelle Russell. Minter will probably come back. Sitchie's going to come back.
I'm glad to see Sitchie back. I liked him.
Cornerbacks, Carlton Davis, Jamal Dean, Sean Murphy, Bunting. Backups are Ryan Smith, MJ Stewart, Mazzie Wilkins, our boy Mazzie. Herb Miller, and Parnell Motley. We need nobody back there. We have no veterans. Ryan Smith
is like the oldest, probably. That is
It's
crazy.
scary. Oh my gosh. Safety, Jordan Whitehead, Antoine Whitfield Jr. right now listed as starters. Mike Edwards, Andrew Adams, Justin Evans, Dakota Dixon, DeAndre Hall, and Javon Hagan. We went over them earlier. Special teams, kicker Matt Gay is still around. Punter Bradley Pinion, locked in. Long snapper Zach Triner, still with the team. So, I'm really happy. It was a good team at the end of the year. We've retained the vast, vast, vast majority of the guys we needed to retain, and we've upgraded heavily in major positions, mainly quarterback. We should have been a playoff team last year. There's no doubt about it. We were that good. We beat ourselves.
Yeah, we didn't put it all together all at the same time. Like, offense was firing on all cylinders, and the defense was not.
Right.
And then the defense came on, and then the offense, Jameis Winston, took a slump.
Yeah, we've been rewatching games from last season, and the beginning of the year, our running game was killing it. Peyton Barber was chewing stuff up.
The run blocking was great.
Yeah, it was very strong, but then our secondary couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah.
It was just very strange. And then when the secondary picks it up, our running game couldn't go anywhere. It was very strange, very strange. Never had a problem with our receivers, that's for sure. We had a problem with the guy that was throwing them to the receivers.
Well, we had problems with the receivers as far as them getting injured.
Yeah, the hamstring issues.
So our depth was not great.
But they stepped it up, I thought.
They did. Well, they did, but I'm just...
Except that Tennessee game. They didn't know which way they were going.
Yeah.
It was quite apparent.
Rashad Perriman, he really stepped it up when he got the chance to start, but then anybody else behind him didn't. Like Scotty Miller, where was he? Justin Watson.
Yeah.
In particular, after Chris Godwin got injured.
Right, I see what you're saying, yeah. Yeah, Perriman definitely stepped it up.
But the rest of the guys didn't. That's my point.
Yeah. So, we were a playoff caliber team last year. We kept beating ourselves. And mainly, I said this in the last episode of the last season, right after the last game, Jameis Winston cost us, And then when I did the analysis and everything, I was like, Jameis Winston cost us 3 games. You got to say that, 3 games. That's like the minimum you could say. There's 3 games. You add those 3 games in, and then you add Tom Brady in, you're looking at a minimum. If you say Tom Brady's going to win us, I don't know, we'll be conservative here and say 2 games. You're looking at, that's 11 games right there. We won 7. If Winston wouldn't have.
Oh, that's including Winston's.
3 games, yeah. Tom Brady's not going to lose us 3 games.
Yeah.
And then you throw on 2 just because he's Tom Brady. That's 5 games right there.
So it'd be 12. That's a 12
Man,
win season.
I ain't trying to math up in here. So, yeah, I think we are destined for greatness this year. My football math is proving that we are going all the way, baby.
Too. Football math.
It is infallible. Football math, man. It's amazing the stuff you can do with the football math. I'm so excited. I want football to start tomorrow. Can we just do this?
Let's do it.
All right, once again, if the audio sounds funny, we're still working on stuff. We'll get it pounded out in the next few podcasts, I'm sure. But we got some good stuff coming in the pipeline. There's a reason why we're doing this, making you suffer through this bad audio. If you want to get in touch with us, the best way is Twitter generally. You can find us on Twitter. Our handle is @Bucs_Observer. Sign up there, subscribe, follow us, whatever, like. You know the routine. We have videos on YouTube. Just look for Buccaneers Observer. We've got a Facebook page as well. Look for Buccaneers Observer. We're going to make you do all the work. You have to search for us. We don't have Instagram because it's just too much for us. And I don't...
What are we going to put up? Pictures of us watching games in our living room?
I don't know, man. I see people putting some silly stuff up on Instagram.
I'll show y'all what I'm cooking.
And we got the website, BuccaneersObserver.com. Go check it out. We haven't done anything with that here for a while. Of course, we've got great plans for it. We've always got big plans for stuff. And if you want to get in touch with Molly, you can reach her at her email. It's Molly@BuccaneersObserver.com. If you want to get in touch with me, it's Ralph@BuccaneersObserver.com.
Isn't mine Molly Bay at BuccaneersObserver.com?
What did I say, Molly?
Molly.
I'm going to make you a Molly address because
Okay,
we
just
do this.
it.
Yeah.
You do it all the time. I know my email address.
That's why you need to be saying this because you know your email address. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Stay safe out there. Don't get anywhere near anybody else.
Ever.
Don't even look at anybody else for the next couple of weeks so we can get this wiped out and get back to football. But until then,
Go Bucs.